What's up, everybody? Spirit of 420 here because everything I do is so 420. And as you heard, I speak louder than pictures. I speak louder than a lot of things. And I'm going to get right into it tonight. I've got the UGC gang is what I have called them. I got picked on for it, but I'm going to stick with it because these dudes are a gang of really cool cats. First, we got Gryz, and now we got Dirty. Dirty and Gryz, good to have you guys both. Were y'all on at the same time last time or different time? It was different times for y'all last time. Yeah, that's what I thought. Good to have y'all on together this time, man. How's it going?
It's going good here. I'm excited and ready to go and see another season start, man.
Yeah, I know, man. It's crazy. I had a stupid amount of fun, as you can tell, with my countdown. Just trying to have more fun this year and trying to do stuff. The first countdown that I had from last year was pre-made anyway, so I didn't make it. I actually made this one, had fun with it. So.
Nice.
One of the things that we are going to be talking about for sure as we get into it, and I'm just going to go ahead and post the first one up here so that we can kind of be thinking about it. But you know what? Rather than me say it, Dirty, why don't you tell the world what UGC is and why it was created and kind of part of why you're here? Because a lot of people know that you guys are vets, but it really isn't about the vets so much as UGC and what that brings to everybody in.
Yeah, UGC Urban Growers Collective is there's a lot of vets in there, but it's not about the vets. It's more about the growing culture. Now that everything's getting legalized everywhere else, how to grow, what to grow, because there's so many ways you could grow. Like it's literally a weed. Everyone cherishes this weed because it grows into a flower. We smoke it, we fucking get high. I could throw this weed on a rock, put water on it, it'll grow. It won't give me the maximum amount of yield, but it'll grow. So We're just trying to different ways, and all of our experiences of growing. There's a lot of years of experience in UGC from different streamers. A lot of us stream 24/7 on Twitch, and we put our experience and our showcases on there. It was really developed by this vet named Sinful. Really cool guy, quiet, low key, but if it's fucked up, he'll tell you it's fucked up with the gut. You know what I'm saying? And that's the kind of people that, I need in my life, He's really upfront too, and his mods and admins, they won't lead you the wrong way. If they don't know the answer, they'll show you which direction you could go. So it's just a collective.
How many members are you guys up to now? Do you know?
Gryz, can you pull it up?
Yep, 1 second. Let me take a look.
Gryz will have it. I know it keeps going up because every time, like every 2 weeks, I look and it just keeps growing. So I mean, it should.
We're over 1,300 right now.
Dude, I honestly, when I first met y'all, were y'all even over 1,000 already?
I don't remember. I don't keep tabs on those numbers. I just keep pushing out content.
No, I get it, but I mean, to me, I'm proud of the fact that you guys have continued. Like it's, you know what I mean? It's growing and it continues to grow, and new people continue to come in and find it and find, I guess the best word for it is, for lack of a better term, salvation.
Yeah. And there's a lot of vets in there. A lot of vets we connect. We have our own separate channels and so forth. But yeah, it's pretty much everyone has their own way of growing. So it's just a collective of growers.
But you don't. The one thing I'll say, Dirty, is, and I've said this before, and I'll just continue to reiterate it. If you're not a vet, it's not like you feel shunned or don't feel like you belong. You still feel just as much a part of the collective. You might not be invited into a vet channel, if somebody is talking about that stuff. But the reality is you're not shunned and you're not made to feel different, right?
Yeah. Well, there's not really a vet channel. There's like a Navy, Marine Corps, Army, those type of channels where people that served in those branches can talk about their experiences or whatnot. But
Right.
it's not really UGC isn't really focused on the mental health that well. We're more focused on the growing experience and doing things the right way. But
you know
there's
what?
separate channel in there,
Yeah. But I mean, the focus, I don't think, and I'm assuming that I'm correct here. So, well, you know what? I'm gonna guess rather than making an ass out of you and me here. But my guess is that, Sin started it for the growing aspect and learning to grow and having that collective, having that place, that toolbox or sandbox, if you will, where you can go and find out why the fuck are my plants dying, or why the hell is this going on, or how do I produce a higher yield? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And granted, it might not have as much focus on mental, but I still see it in there. It's not like, how do I say it? It seems like everybody in there tries to at least care about one another and be mindful of each other's, mental state or whatever they're dealing with.
General chat's always going. King is awesome. General chat is always going.
General chat, gotcha.
Showcases are always popping. Everyone's popping in their grows and everything. JoeDirt, who's going to come on the stream later on.
Yep.
He's a mod or admin. I forget which one, but I mean, he's not a vet, but I treat him like a brother. Like he took from a no grow all the way to, you should see his yields now, and he can not only just grow about it, but he can speak about it.
Right.
So he speaks on his knowledge about growing, and he tries to help everybody else. You can take the experience or not. It's really up to you. Well, like I said, it's not just vets.
No, I know. Quite honestly, oh, look at there. So I don't know if you see, but you got someone there giving you a shout out.
Hey, what's up?
So, let's just get right into it, because I know we're going to have some fun here in a minute. But just real quick, Gryz, since I haven't heard your deep, sexy voice over there, brother, what was your first grow experience like?
So for me, I last time I was here, I told how I got back into smoking again and everything like that through my son because of my PTSD. And, I got to the point where, I was like, man, I think I'd like to do this myself. I'd never grown, dude. I hadn't grown a tomato in my life. You know what I mean? Like I hadn't done anything. And so one of the things about me though, is I'm a research freak. And so I spent 6 months.
I was about to ask.
Yeah,
I wasn't even going to say weeks, bro. I literally was going to say, how many fucking months did you?
I bought books. I read stuff online and everything like that. I actually stumbled upon a different Discord server and was active in there for quite a while, and then had a meta person in there who was not a vet. Him and I got private chatting and stuff like that, and he said, hey, I got a buddy of mine that has a growing server, and he's a vet. There's other vets over there. It's a really cool place. Why don't you check it out? And that's Bex. Shout out to Bex if he sees this. And the
rest is history, right?
Yeah, and the rest is history. So I got in here, and these guys literally, I had tons of questions, man. And I was, everything was like, I would see a change in my plants. I would see a change in my plants. Be like, oh my God, I got to fix something now. And I'd get in here and be like, hey guys, this happened. They're like, no big deal. Right.
It's a hiccup. It's good.
Yeah, stuff like that. The information's free flowing here, and it's awesome. Nobody's trying to, we take the tribal knowledge that we learn and we like to pass that out. There's no hoarding of that knowledge. And,
the military side of us. The military side of us, when we back up that knowledge, we always post our source link so you can look it up and make your own judgment.
Yep.
Nice.
Exactly.
So,
I will say I'm probably not always the best about doing that. I try to. I'm trying to learn how to do that stuff, but I'm not always the best at it, I can tell you that. But that's the funny thing is, Gryz, in concerns to what was it you were just saying? Damn it. Oh, lost my train of thought. Of course, somebody started talking because I lost it. Your first grow experience. Go back. Keep going because you were on a roll.
I started off with I grew 4 plants. My first grow.
The first time, just 4.
And I did 4, and I actually got just under 3 ounces per plant for my first grow, which I was a
12
little
ounces.
disappointed with.
Almost
I was a
12
little
ounces.
disappointed with because I expected to get more, and I think we'll get into some of the stuff about expectations when we do some of the questions later, because I'll definitely remember to add in my hey, shout out to Blade. Hi, that's my little brother, guys. Just so that's Gryz's
what's
little
up,
brother
Blade? What's
who
up?
just joined. So
Here we go.
but so yeah, but
I was like, how do you see that? I didn't see nothing. Like, what are you guys smoking on? And I'm
running dual monitors, so.
Oh, okay. I'm running on the iPad.
Do you see where to click on the? Do you see? Are you on your phone, Dirty?
Yeah, I'm on the iPad, bro.
There should still be like, does it give you little buttons on the side where you can click on comments or private chat?
Dude, I am on a good buzz right now. I'm just chilling. I'm not trying to press no buttons.
All right, no, fuck it,
There you go,
dude.
Yeah, let's go.
Just know that he's here.
So
Gryz will just tell me when someone does a shout out.
There you go. That's what I'll do. So I was a little bummed out, and then I got on the server and said, "Hey, I this is what I got," and guys were like, "Oh my gosh, dude, that's amazing! Most people don't get anything their first grow." And so,
did you hear my reaction? I was sitting there thinking, like, dude, that's awesome. You almost got you almost got 3 QPs. Like that's the dealer in me is like, yeah, man. That's
well, here's all said and done with the help of UGC and everything like that. The way I figured it is, if I had to buy what I grew, it actually would have paid for everything I invested into my grow setup in my first round.
Right, which means it's only profit after that, dude.
Exactly.
Now you know why I was the dealer back in the 90s.
That's why I tell everyone, your first grow, always just complete it. Just complete it. No matter how bad it's going.
No,
just complete it.
Because you know what? And you and I have talked about this before, Dirty, but the only time you fail is when what?
I'm high.
You quit. No, you're high, but the only time you fail is if you quit. So as long as you, dude, even if you grow that plant to its death, you still learn. You still learn.
Yeah.
And the fact is, if you have multiple plants, you guys know this, you're not going to kill every.
Right.
I'm sorry. I did that back in the 90s. I killed the entire house, but that was because I misfed. It was a hydroponic system that fed the entire house. So you can understand the next day when we were in there and all the plants were orange. I was 100% surprised, but my partner was like, "You're an idiot," and I was like, "Well, I never said that I was the grower. That I'm the fucking salesman. You're the grower. That was our partnership, you know."
Yeah.
So, and I didn't follow instructions, and you can imagine we were both pretty upset. It's like 500 plants start over. So.
Sure. Yep.
But yeah, keep going.
I'm the guy on the server. You'll see me on there say to people all the time, listen, if at the end of your grow you ended up with bud that when you smoke it, you get lifted, you did something right, and you just build from there. Yep. You know, the thing is,
go ahead.
It doesn't matter how you got there, you know, and that's a big thing on our server is there's no right way. Dirty already said it. There's many different ways, and that's a big thing on our server. There's no one right way. There's many different ways to get to this magical bud that we're all looking for. You know?
I mean, the first, when you're talking about that, the first thing that you have to decide is, am I going to be an outdoor person or am I going to be an indoor, or am I going to literally grow both?
Yep.
Depending on the time of year, because I know a lot of growers that do both. They're like, dude, I would grow outdoor all year long, except, the weather is not permitting, period.
Yeah.
Do you go, Dirty, don't you grow outside as well? Didn't I see plants on the outside, or the way that you have? No, it is all it's okay.
Yeah, it's on.
I have 2 plants in the greenhouse this year, and then I have plants inside as well. But
I'm not in SoCal. I'm not trying to let anyone know I'm growing.
Oh no, I get it. It's hopefully it will become a thing where you can get the same kind. I imagine that most growers are like we were. I mean, we had cameras and protection, and that was back in '90s, and we had the best thing that we could, that money could buy at the time for alarm system, just because you don't want anybody knowing about your shit.
They're selling ounces out here in the dispensaries for like $250, $300. I'm like, what the fuck are you smoking, man?
Right.
When I buy that ounce, it better fucking say good morning to me before I smoke it.
Dude, I buy budget bags. Are you hearing this? budget bags I buy, and they go on sale for half off. So I'm paying $35 for a fucking ounce.
Ouch.
Man,
$35 for a bag of popcorn.
My guy used to get me. I used to get shake. Yep.
No shake. No, I promise you,
Yep.
like there's no. It's all. It's just. It's all. And I'm telling you, man, the shit's still testing in at like 24, 25. It gets me high as fuck.
I used to get shake from my guy for 100 an ounce. And
remember those, dude?
Oh, dude, I'd be because there'd be times
he'd be
he'd
like,
call me up.
You.
Yeah, he'd call me up and be like, dude, I got like 2.5 ounces. I need to get rid of. I'm like, all right. I'm like, hook me up, man. You know,
dude, that literally takes me. Oh, I think Joe's ready. Hold on.
All right.
Let me ask him. I saw his face for a minute. Let me just ask him. He hasn't texted me, so y'all keep talking. Sorry.
Okay. All right.
So what is this lizard lot hunting? What is
lot
this?
lizard hunting?
Lot lizard hunting. I never heard of
this. So all right. So I'll take a stab at this one. I've got a little experience in the trucking industry, somewhat. Not that I ever worked there, but family has. So lot lizards are women of the evening, we'll say, who offer services to the truck drivers who've been on the road for a long time. Okay, so most areas this is highly illegal, and so
of course,
so
unless you're in Vegas,
yeah. Part of Joe's job is that I guess he gets to chase the lot lizards out of the
no
truck.
Shit. This whole fucking time, I thought.
Oh my god, dude! I thought he was gonna hunt real fucking animals.
Yeah, lizards and shit. I was gonna do like an Australian voice documentary and shit.
Doesn't he work on a golf course or something?
No, he has a golf cart that he drives.
See, when I thought this motherfucker worked on a golf course, and we were gonna fucking see him hunting some. This is gonna be even more hysterical than I thought.
I
thought you guys knew.
I hope we find a carrot. I know. I didn't know. I thought you were like looking for lizards. They're trying to go on a trucker thing. I didn't know it was a thing. I was like, is that a thing?
100.
I don't know.
I've never heard the term. I'm
it.
as fucking shocked as you, dude.
Oh my goodness.
I'm as shocked as you.
I love
this is hysterical to me. I can't believe
now I'm even more excited.
But like now I'm crossing my fingers. I'm praying to God. I'm like, dude, let there be a lizard out there. I want to see him take care of hunting a lot lizard. Wow.
Joe is tiny though, man. Oh my gosh. This is gonna be funny, dude.
He's tiny, but he's threatening. You gotta understand those little tiny. He
has a baby
boys,
face.
Man.
What is threatening, bro? I think we're setting him up. He has like a baby face.
Yes, he does have. I will say that he honestly looks younger than the real JoeDirt. Oh, we lost him for a minute. I think he'll be back in a sec.
I can't believe Sin or no one told me what fucking lizard lot hunting was.
They probably
no one told me this whole week and shit.
Dude, I was just laughing at it because
I assumed you guys all knew. That's why I thought we were doing it.
The thought of him hunting lizards out on the golf course to me was fucking hysterical because I thought it was some lizard that only comes out at night. So like he's got to get out there at night, like bang him with a flashlight and pow. I was like, that's gonna be fucking killer.
Hey, from now on, when we do these collabs, we can't do a session. We need to do a sober session. No, we gotta do a sober shit because I was high as fuck when we talked about this. And this whole week I was thinking about lizards, man. Holy shit! I gotta be sober for our next collab. I was
waiting to see some kind of special. I thought it was gonna be some like salamander motherfucking thing.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, man.
Like I was flipping over boulders.
Totally fucked me up, dude. Totally fucked me up. And to know it's a fucking tramp, basically.
I love it.
That's hysterical, dude. That has got me.
I was this many years old to find out what that shit was.
I'm 50, Dirty. How do you think I feel, man? I never even heard the fucking term.
Now I wish I didn't tell you guys, and I just let you be surprised when you come around the corner of a semi.
I would be so confused tonight, dude. I'd be like, these are hoes. Where are these lizards at?
Where are the lizards on the concrete? Why is he by semis? I don't understand.
I told my teenagers, hey, I'm gonna be on the street tonight. They're gonna be chasing lizards.
This is gonna be hysterical, dude.
Well, my brother-in-law and sister-in-law own a trucking company, and so when right after my wife and I met when we were dating, she worked for them, and I had never heard the term myself. Now I have two uncles that have been truck drivers their whole lives. Now, you know, they're not going to go around talking to their nephew about lot lizards and crap like that. So I didn't hear it from them. She said it one day. I said, "What the hell is a lot lizard?"
Lot lizards, chicken heads. I know. I get it now. I just got it too. I got it.
Look, it makes
Holy
sense
shit
now.
It makes sense now.
But when they said hunting, when the term hunting was thrown in to lot lizards and he's running around on his golf cart, I went a different.
Gryz, whatever the next collab is, whether it's SO420 or whoever else, you gotta let me know if there's any lingo. We gotta do a disclaimer.
Okay.
All
right.
We should have.
I'm just like,
we need to have a terms. We need to have like a term.
We'll have a glossary of terms at the beginning of the meeting.
Terms. Right. Like this is this. A lot lizard is a tramp out on the lot.
Words you will hear in today's meeting.
Yeah, like the first 5 minutes of the sesh, we'll just put out all the facts, and then we'll do a sesh right after that and just talk about it. But I can't come in there fucking high as fuck. Thinking the whole week we're looking for lizards and salamanders.
Honestly,
and I'm thinking, why is that?
You guys thought this was going to be like some Caddyshack thing going on.
I was like, why is it important in the trucking industry?
We all learned that. I honestly thought that. I was like, there was a couple of little, every once in a while he would say something about trucks, and I'm like, what the fuck does trucks have to do with a golf course or lizards? That was what I was thinking. I'm like, I'm
electronics or something. I was like, maybe lizards like that. You know, raccoons go in there to eat up your electrical housing. Like maybe lizards are like that. Maybe he just has to shine a light. It's like, I mean, even if he doesn't find like waves of lizards, you know.
Even if he doesn't find one, I got to talk to him about this now, because this means he regularly chases off a lizard. How many lizards do you think he chases off every week, Gryz?
I don't know.
Estimation.
I have no idea.
At least one.
No clue.
At least one
I would
a week.
think. I mean,
otherwise they wouldn't have a dude out there.
Right.
Like they probably have somebody out there every single night, whether it's
because he's like maintenance / security. Right. And so
and he doesn't work 7 days a week, so there's got to be other people that do this as well.
Exactly.
That's fucking crazy, dude.
Yeah, unreal.
Oh my god,
I think it's funny you guys had some Caddyshack routine in your head,
dude.
Except for lizards
that's what I had.
My mind is fucking blown right now.
I'm like,
why didn't I connect the dots?
Because nobody ever said anything about a tramp or like, a fucking hoodie. I mean, like nobody said the key words that let me know that this was, dude,
like,
hood rat.
Joe talked to me. He talked to me very Christian like that. If I can explain that shit, that's the only way I can fucking explain that shit right now.
Oh my god,
high as fuck. He explained to me very Christian like. So I was thinking the whole week, why is lizards so important in the trucking industry? Why does this guy got to check them off? I was expecting him to go around with a flashlight and like waves of lizards just jumping around.
How big are these motherfuckers? Are they getting up into the trucks and shit?
It's like those. Remember? You ever see that movie Holes? That movie Holes.
Can you believe that? I'm a movie buff and I never saw that movie.
They had them lizards. I think they were actually bearded dragons that they used in the movie for the lizards, but they're supposedly venomous lizards that they're digging these holes looking for gold, and they'd uncovered the lizards, and if you got bitten,
Sigourney Weaver, right? That's the one you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Kids.
Yeah. And I think isn't
Shia LaBeouf?
Shia LaBeouf when he was a kid.
Can you believe I've never fucking seen that, dude?
Yeah. Wow.
I'm gonna go watch it now because you're like the 100th person that has referenced this movie, so it's obviously worth watching at least one time, especially if there's now killer fucking lot lizards in this
now that sounds like a sci-fi movie. Lot lizards.
Killer lot lizards on the loose. What's it? Killer lot lizards from Venus. Because that, I'm only saying that because we now know what they actually are.
Yep.
So then they would be like some trashy ass bitches come down from Venus. Like, you got a truck that we can go behind?
Now that you say whatever happened to B movies? Y'all remember those great B horror movies in the 80s and 90s?
Oh my god! Oh, yeah. Did you see the? Tell me you did. Grindhouse, right?
Okay.
We got some more. Did you see that? That was like what's their names? What do you call it? There. We got some comments here, by the way. That's awesome.
What's up, Larry?
Hey, what's up? What's up, bro? What's up, Pete? And who we got here? Yeah. We need to make that fucking movie, dude.
He used to work at a truck stop too.
Let's see if Joe can talk. Joe, can you hear us?
Let's go.
Have you found any killer lot lizards? I can't hear him right now.
No, I can't hear
I
him.
don't think he's talking. I don't think he's talking.
He might not be able to talk if he might have to be quiet if he catches to be able to catch a lot lizard. He might have to
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
hunting
We
lot
didn't know what a
lizards.
fucking lot lizard was, Joe. Dirty and I just
I had to
found
tell
out. what a
them.
lot
We just
lizard
found out.
I had to tell him.
We just
I
found
thought
out,
you were
dude.
looking for lizards.
Oh my god, we lost him.
We lost him. Oh,
My god, right when we got him. That's so fucking hysterical.
Oh,
We'll bring him
no.
back in as soon as he gets here.
yeah.
Oh, he's charging. His phone died. Are you?
Oh
Go.
no!
He forgot to charge his phone.
Oh,
I bet you anything he got there is like, oh, dude, I'm on 10%. How am I gonna?
oh shit!
That's what happens when you fucking go to work high, dude.
You let your battery die on this night.
Yeah, I know.
We love you, Joe. We love you, man.
Dude, you have to
I've been
understand.
working like
Dirty
fuck
and I,
tonight, man.
Dirty and I are slapping each other right now, dude, because we had no idea what the fuck. I honestly thought this was an animal that you were hunting, some type of salamander.
It is. It is an animal.
Holy shit! I just found out, man. I'm like baffled. I'm like, what?
I'm
the fuck?
flabbergasted, man. I'm flabbergasted. I don't know if we're going to be able to talk about marijuana because I just can't get over the fact that I thought that he was hunting. Dude, when you said golf cart, I thought that your ass went around on a golf course somewhere. Like, at least Dirty knew that you were in a golf parking lot or a truck parking lot. I thought you were in a fucking golf course and this was some kind of lizard that you got to kill, that the motherfucker only comes out at night, and that we were going to see like, pow, shoot some fucking.
He thought it was going to be a remake of Caddyshack, but with
Yeah, dude.
lizards.
Like,
You know,
except gophers. Yeah, not gophers, but lot lizards, man. we have decided though that we're going to make a film called Killer Lot Lizards on the Loose.
yeah.
Oh God. Well, I'm gonna turn my phone off all the way for about 10 minutes so it gets a good
Charge
charge,
it up, dude.
and then
Come
I'll be
back.
back
Yep.
and we'll be on the golf cart, guys.
Dude, that'll
All right,
be
man.
fucking. I honestly cannot wait now. I'm 5 times more excited.
Holy shit! I can't believe you didn't tell me, man. I'm still like, wow.
That is great.
Dude, I don't think I honestly, we're going to get ripped on, Dirty, because I don't think anybody thought we didn't know. Like,
I
they
did
just.
24 years in the military, and I just found out right now after retired what fucking lot lizard was.
I'm
What the
50
fuck?
years. I'm 10 years a drug dealer, 50 years old, and I'm just now understanding that a lot
Oh
lizard
my
is not a
God.
fucking animal that crawls around
Yeah.
on my Ford.
I
Love
was
it.
wondering the whole time,
Love
like,
it.
why is lizards so important in trucking? Like, do they eat up the
See, at least you
electronics?
knew.
What?
At least you knew that he was on a truck lot, dude. I didn't even put that together because I'm trying to read text as fast as I can and keep up as fast as I can with everything. And I'm telling you, I only heard or saw a truck every once in a while. I was like, I didn't really think about it. Like, it just kind of, I was sure this motherfucker was on a golf course tonight.
I always get accused of over-explaining stuff, so I'm
Don't
like, so I
ever
just
fucking
assumed.
be afraid to over-explain to an old owner. Like,
Well, I think I derailed the conversation. I was talking about good old King Zero selling his feet on his OnlyFans page, feet pics and everything. That's why our Twitter account got banned.
Oh my lord.
That's my boy. I miss talking to that guy.
Yep.
all right, so here we're gonna go ahead and move it forward. Oh, we got some more comments. Let's go over
But I
here.
shit you not, man. That's what
From
happens
outer
when you show up
space,
to work
yeah.
high. Your fucking phone is dead right before the show.
Oh, right.
Oh yeah, it will be Blade. I don't know if y'all see, but Blade feels like the movie's going to be a winner for sure.
Yep.
I'm telling you, man, we can just go down. Like, all of us have downtown areas close enough that we can go downtown and hire some actual tramps. Be
Yep.
like, look, I'm going to pay you, but you don't actually have to fuck me today. I just need you to act like you're going to fuck this dude,
Yep.
so you can be a killer lot lizard. I need you. I need
Well,
you
yeah,
to put
you
on
just-
some makeup and.
Sponsored by UGC.
And so 420 presents,
let me-
sponsored
there you
by
go.
Let me slap a
UGC.
UGC sticker on that. Let me slap a UGC sticker on that.
Oh, damn. Thank you for saying
Dude.
that. I haven't even. Damn.
You know, Sin
so high,
is
Here,
sitting
I
back
got
there right
that
now,
one. I'm
shaking
gonna
his fucking
change
head.
it over.
like,
I'm gonna change it over to
Yeah.
Gryz here in a minute, but right now we got
Right.
there's the UBC up there in the corner. I've been fucking so stoned. I already got. I mean, dude, I was honestly a little bit nervous. Funny enough, because it's still a new season, right?
Yeah.
So I was a
Yeah,
little nervous, man. I got twice as ripped before the show tonight.
Yep.
I figured it couldn't hurt anything, right?
I don't remember the last time I was sober, bro.
Well, yeah. Now that's a fact.
I wake up and wake and bake, and then I smoke an indica at night, and I'm doing shit in between.
Here's the thing, Dirty. Other than there was a time from 17 to 20, not quite 3.5 years that I went to AA, and I quit with a bang. Let's just put it that way. And I've never looked back. And don't get me wrong, AA is good for some people, and I still use. I kid you not, I still use, and many of the principles, But marijuana was never. There was other drugs that had me out of control, but marijuana has never been one. So once I started back on marijuana, so with that exception, the last 30 years, man, I've been high, and even. And I know I don't feel it as much as like my children or my wife or some, other folks feel the high. But dude, if I don't have it, then I don't feel righteous. That's all. That's the best way to say it.
Yeah.
It's like I feel off,
Yeah.
I mean, it's not just wake and bake. It's off, awkward. I mean, it's like that's like the first thing I do is take a fucking piss. I try not to shit until I've at least had my high, to be quite honest. I try to hold that in unless it's the worst day of the world. But I will go because I want, and I say that because I want my weed, my kratom, and I do two different forms of weed in the morning. I think I've said this before, but I have I eat my 2 edibles, the dosed, and then I do dabs, right?
There you go.
And then I have coffee. And by the time that coffee hits, then it's time for the morning shite. That's when that moment comes. Typically speaking. But we can talk about shit all day. I'm going to put this next one up here because this is the next topic. And I'm going to let Dirty go first. Dirty, you see the question down there? What did UGC Discord bring to your garden that you didn't know before?
Sinful's fucking attention to detail. That motherfucker will pick out a fucking dog hair in your fucking soil. I shit you not, and publicize that motherfucker, dude. So since we started up the showcases and everything, before I post pictures, I edit that shit, make sure nitpick all that stuff, and but that's what he brought to my garden. It's because of Sinful and then UGC. I got it. I grow differently than a lot of other people. I do a bonsai style type garden.
Oh, dude. If that's what you're talking about, sorry, I knew that. I thought maybe there was something different in the way that you. Yeah, I've shared your bonsai shit, and I need to get back over to your. I wish you did more Twitter, but I know UGC is your home, so don't get me wrong. I just wish you did more tweets with those, and tag me in them, dude. Tag me whenever you do a tweet with your bonsai.
Okay.
I'm serious.
Cool.
Every time you tweet anything with weed. Well, anytime, dude. Just tag me whenever you want, but definitely your bonsais because I'll fucking end up tagging that. What's his name? Manny. You know what I'm talking about over there? And I know you. Yeah, dude. He's fucking badass too.
Yeah, he is. He's the one that actually. When I was going through it after I retired and I started growing, so my first season it was shit, but I still finished my grow. Second season, third season, the fourth season. And when I came across Manny's book, the Bonsai Academy, that type of stuff, and I started implementing that. Yeah, he wrote a book. I even bought the book, and somewhere here in my library.
Just out of curiosity, before you get into the book, is it just on growing any kind of bonsai, or specifically to marijuana bonsai?
Marijuana bonsai, canna bonsai.
It says cannabis. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Go ahead.
So he wrote a book about it, and then. That's how pretty much I did a stream one time when I was going through. I used to go on on Twitch and do a live stream on training techniques in my garden. And then that's how Sinful came across on my Discord. I had my own Discord, and we were talking bullshit throughout the whole time I was streaming. So he was like a, you know, what we call like an A driver. You know, he was my backup guy pretty much. You know, we didn't really know each other at all, but he kept the conversation going. You know, so from there I started going into teaching bonsai tricks and stuff like that. And then I didn't want to keep up my own Discord, so he was doing so well with his. I just dropped ship on my own Discord and jumped on there, and he just made me feel well at home. So that's why I post everything. That's where UGC is my home at. So even when I launch my own website, all my comms will be going through UGC pretty much.
By the way, you know that I'm completely ready and willing. Hey, time to smoke, Gryz. Yeah, I'll smoke.
yeah, yeah.
Hold on, it's smoke time. What was that? That was 8 chimes. Does that mean we take 8 hits?
Yeah.
Well, I'll just count them out. There's one. I'm going to say a couple words in between each one, so it'll probably last us a while. But, oh, shit, what was I going to say? I stopped. I was going to say something to you too, Dirty.
I don't know. I think I may have derailed the conversation, though.
Oh, you didn't? It was actually, no, it was right on. It was right on target, dude. I'm just a fucking stoner and trying to recapture that thought that flew out of my mind like a fucking. Oh, it is what it is. I will say this,
But
I
that's
love
how I
what you
got
do.
involved with UGC. So my niche is a bonsai garden. I also theme it out. I don't have it up right now. Like, here's my photo garden. It's still growing.
That's the one. That's where you take all your final shots, right? When you say photo garden, is that what you mean?
No, photo gardens, photo periods. These are where I grow the 6 footers.
Okay.
Yeah,
My
it's the
bad.
6
I understand.
footers, and then right next to it is, you see, it's empty.
Right.
That's where the bonsai tent is. So I'm still working on it. Hopefully, if this season goes well, I've already talked to I think a 4th level editor at High Times contacted me, and they're watching this season to see how it goes, and maybe I can get a spot in the magazine there.
Dude,
Because
that would
I
be
guess
awesome.
It's something. Yeah, it's a new niche that's coming out, I guess. I mean,
Well, and
been
they've got a
doing it for
website, dude, so
about
you
4
could literally
years.
you could stream over to them if they ended up, you know what I mean? If they sponsored
Yeah.
you, then your stream could go to their website or something.
But it's just, I like growing with like the bonsai style just because it takes so much time out of me. So I really invest myself in the garden. So when I go through it, I really take it out of my garden. And you see some of the photos I produce from it. Some of them are pretty crazy in black and white and outer worldly sometimes.
I would imagine that no different than when I did bonsai. And what I mean by that is I took my hand at it, and I still have a couple, but the only ones that lived were the extremely robust that did not require the same attention. But the reason I did bonsai, and I imagine you get this out of the marijuana, is the amount of detail that you have to do from trimming to shaping and just all of it.
Yeah.
It's so much more attention than just putting a plant and growing. Not that there's not an art to that in and of itself, but doing it bonsai style is extremely therapeutic and zen. I mean, it's why people say, like, people that are trying to find a good meditation, even if you kill your first 20 plants, keep trying, because it is extremely meditating. That is for damn
Yeah, I
sure.
still got the stem here. Hold on a second.
You still got your original stem? By the way, I don't know if you saw that, Gryz, but you got a shout out on your leg.
I did. Thank you. I'm a big fan of
Badass.
what I call Dr. Seuss setup.
Hold that
So
up again. Hold on. I'm gonna go to. Oh, hold on. I'm gonna go to just you. I want to see it.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. That is fucking badass, dude.
Yeah.
It is badass. You're absolutely right, Princess. It is badass.
Yeah, I always like to find the weird stuff, and I used to have this one rig. The main part of it broke, but I had a ash catcher on there. I had another cooler on there. I had all this stuff. It was pretty cool. But,
Holy shit! How old is that?
wow.
This is the last season. This is the bonsai part.
That's fucking, dude.
That's
That
cool.
was. Do you have I know you do, but I would love to see the picture of that final plant before you smoked it.
Yeah,
That's the other beautiful thing about Canna Bonsai is you get to do all this, and instead of it dying, you're like, I'm gonna smoke this man.
Exactly.
I'm gonna smoke the shit out of this. By the way, you got a shout out, Dirty.
Oh, thanks.
Look at that. Princess Buttercup went back to 1983. That's totally awesome. Oh, yeah, that's badass, though. I like it. That's cool as shit. Yeah, I would. I'm hoping, quite frankly, because I'm in Colorado, so it's not like I can't grow. I mean, I even have a medical card, so I can grow technically, like more than the average person, at least for where I am. I just I haven't had luck. My wife tried to grow, and we produced something, and we smoked it, and we got high, but nowhere near like what I know to grow is. You know what I mean? It was that whimsy. It didn't ever make it to full maturity, put it that way, because we don't have, like, where we tried to grow it was just we didn't have a light set up. Like, and I know I've made the determination, and now you understand where I'm going with this. I will grow once I can afford to either create and build a greenhouse or take a room and convert it the way I did back in the 90s to a grow room. Because I really, I need 2 rooms technically, because the way that I did it is we had the mother plant and the cloning room was all in one place, and then it all went into the full grow station, So I would love to get into it again one day, and I will, but I mean, I got to have lights. I got to have equipment. I can't try to do it just half-assed.
Yeah.
I feel you.
It will happen though, dude. I'm the spirit of 420. I do plan on growing. I would only imagine that, quite frankly, I'm already a member, so I'm sure that I could go in there and get all the advice in the world.
Absolutely.
Why wouldn't I? Why wouldn't I go in there and bug the shit out of, particularly the 2 of you, and definitely Joe when he gets his ass back in here. I'm sorry that King Cut made. I wish that. I sent out an offer, and if you would ever like to do something in the daytime, I would be more than happy to do it. It doesn't have to be live. We can do because then when we did ours, Gryz, that was
pre-recorded.
Yeah, so we could do that. Let him know. I'd be more than happy. I was trying to get to him, but I didn't want to, pester him. But I was willing to get on there today and have like a quick conversation, like a 10-minute thing, and then like it would just be him, saying what he wanted to say, and then we could talk about it and share. But either way, it'll happen. You said if you do it again, Dirty, that you're going to be on again. Maybe not necessarily this season, but you'll be on again. I hope it is. I mean, I hope it doesn't have to go that long necessarily. I would like to see if we could do. We should do some, because I know Gryz is trying to put together eventually a podcast. But we should do. I'm trying to. I've been making these videos. I don't know if you guys have seen any of the videos that I've made, but we should come up with some little skits, and we could all do we could all record like a piece of it, and then I'll edit the shit out of it, and we'll play that shit on. We'll have another party like this, and then we'll literally play it live for the world.
There you go.
Look how fucking crazy we got. I saw this guy's video the other day that was pretty funny. It was a TikTok video. I have to share this real quick. So this dude comes up, and this chick is like boo-hooing on a park bench. Have you seen this? Anybody?
No.
So this chick is on a park bench. She's like crying. This guy comes up, and he's like giving her, consultation, like, oh, it's okay, it's okay. And she gives him a big hug. And while they're hugging, he reaches into her purse and grabs like a stack of cash. Right? And then the next scene is him and his crew of like 8 or 9 dudes strolling down the street with they got all kinds of shit that they just bought with that chick's money. I was like, that's pretty funny. Like something like that would be easy to do, something like that.
Yep.
I don't know if y'all saw this, and we're just gonna come back to it real quick for Blake, because he threw this out there, and I feel like it's absolutely the truth. I have done nearly every drug, with the only exception really being Special K, which I am going to do before I die. No, don't worry. I've got to try it. That's just part of who I am. But
goals.
So, is that mushrooms?
No, I said
No,
goals.
he said goals.
Oh yeah, well you got to have goals. Yeah, you
That's what I'm
gotta have
telling you,
goals,
man.
right? That's still something I haven't done in this lifetime. So
Hey, I like your idea that you had about going around to all of your friends and everything and doing stuff with them for the first time.
yeah, I mean
Like
dude, that would be,
that's a killer idea, I think.
dude. I got to tell you this story. So that just reminded me, and you're gonna love it. So one of my best friends and probably my closest friend currently, right? We always have one that's kind of the closest of all. So
Thank you.
he doesn't smoke pot. We're like in many ways we're complete opposites. Like, and you'll get that I tell people, like, look, I preach. I do exactly what I preach. I don't sit there and just say it. I practice it. My best friend is like the exact opposite. He's a Republican. He's fucking almost 20 years younger than me, right? And in many ways, like, he loves his truck and his motorcycle. I don't even have a bike, although he knows I want one. But my whole point is, he's a drinker. I'm a smoker, right? So he comes over when we were filming these, doing the videos for Dank.tube and creating videos, and he was helping me with it, and he was playing some of the roles, right? So he comes over, and here's my boys, right? I got my 3 boys over here, the triplets, I call them, because 2 of them are actual twins, and the other one is the third one who's the same age that calls me dad. So the 3 of them come over here. They're hardcore smokers. They've been smoking with me since they were 13, and they're now 22, right? So they're doing dab after dab, taking bong rip, hitting the joint. We're all getting ripped. So I let my buddy, I was like, here, man, hit this. And he was, he said he never smoked, or not never, but he hadn't smoked in like years, probably, I want to say like 7 years or more, something like that, right? And I was like, well, here, hit this. So I gave him a joint. He ended up hitting the joint 4 times, and then I gave him not 1, but 2 dabs, right? He was gone, dude. Y'all don't understand. When I say gone, he literally left. Like, all of a sudden, he disappeared, and I couldn't find him, and I was kind of worried because the last thing I heard was him talking about he was going to take a ride around the block with the windows down to just kind of cool off, right?
Yeah,
So this motherfucker went out to his truck. He got in his truck. He starts his truck, and he drives around the block, like he said, a couple times, and then parks the truck. And he said, when I parked the truck and I actually did everything, he's like, that's when I realized I had never moved. He's like, I never moved. He's like, I never actually drove around your block. So he says, like, that's when I just said I got to go home. So then he drove home because he's like,
Wait. What were you on?
Dude, just pot, but he was so high.
He never moved?
He never
Shit.
moved.
I
Listen
want
to
that.
this, right? That's exactly what I said. I was like, dude, I would
need to
give my
grow
left
that.
testicle to get that high again.
Absolutely.
Well, I've told people don't believe it, but if you read about it, it is still considered a mild hallucinogenic. You can get high enough
Absolutely.
that your eyes dilate, and then you are fucking like no different than mushrooms, really, if you get that high.
The
So
closest
my,
I ever got to that was like things just got brighter, like focused or
Right,
something.
right.
You know?
Yeah. I've had that haze. I've had that.
Yeah,
yeah.
My
That's
brother
the
and I,
closest I got.
that's Blade that's on here. If he's still on here, he'll attest to what I'm going to say. But back in the day, he used to live with my wife and I, and we had a small house. We couldn't smoke in the house. And but we had this big old barn out in back. Now, the barn was not weatherproof or anything like that.
Right, but it was still it's decent.
But it was,
shelter.
yeah.
It's good.
So I had an idea, though. I took and I put up my hunting blind in there. I had a ground blind. I put up my hunting blind, and we had a propane heater in there. And so we could sit out there in the dead of February in upstate New York, 26, it'd be minus 10
Feeling
outside,
great.
And we could be in
like
shorts and T-shirts. Yeah, exactly, And so we'd go in there and we'd smoke and everything. Well, like I said, we had this propane heater. It had the flames in it and everything like that. And we would get high. One night, he got a hold of...
You were getting high off those propane flames.
Dude, listen, he got a hold of White Widow. He got a hold of some White Widow. And I sat there, and we sat there, and I'm staring into those flames. And you remember Tom Petty's song "Running Down a Dream," Remember the video for that?
Yeah.
How it was comic book style?
Yep.
Dude,
Yeah.
in the flames, as we had music playing, in the flames, I'm seeing that style video for the music that's playing going on in the flames, man.
You're creating a fucking video in your mind.
Dude, I finally I looked over at my brother and I said, Blade, I said, dude, I said, if we don't go inside now, I don't think we're gonna make it inside tonight, man.
Yeah, we'll freeze.
Dude, the next morning I went out and looked, and it looked like two drunks walking through the snow to the bed to the house, the tracks we left, man.
Oh shit.
Oh my God. So wait, I didn't want to interrupt that story because that was good, but you got to hear this. So I'm now worried though, right? Because I didn't know all this shit. He drove home. I ended up going over to his house, dude. Because I had my doubts as to how high he said he would get, right? And I pushed it. I was a dick, dude, and I feel bad. This motherfucker couldn't move. I come in and he's on his couch, and he had gotten to the point where he stripped down to everything except I think he either had just boxers or just shorts on, but he was like everything else was off, and he was just like, dude, I kid you not, just like he could barely open his eyes. He couldn't even focus on me, and I was like, oh my God, dude. I was like, I'm so sorry, bro. And I was laughing on the inside because I'm like, I know you're gonna be fine, right? I know it's no different than anything else. Like, it's gonna wear off. But dude, he was so incredibly high. And
That's when you switch your breathing from automatic to manual.
Yeah.
Dude, oh my God, I still feel bad. He'll smoke with me now, but he'll do like, oh, dude, I got to tell you this follow up. I don't think it was a week ago, right? I think this was like this weekend, or maybe it was like last Friday or something. Maybe it was a week ago, but just to be completely transparent, we had a little tiff. And I mean, best friends are going to argue, right? You're still going to fucking have arguments. And we knew it wasn't going to matter. But the first call that I get from him after the tiff, or a text that I get from him, is that he fucking ripped on a pin, right? So he took a hit off of somebody's pin and I was like, what did the percentage say on it? He's like, it said 98%. I'm like,
Oh shit.
Right. So he texts, and I found that out later. But what he told me is like, I took a hit off of a pin, and he's like, I can't walk.
I've been there.
He's literally like, I can't walk. I'm like, dude, I promise you. I was like, look, man, because he wanted me to come over, and it's 11:30, and I had a really long day. Like, I was literally wanting to go to bed. I was wanting to get into bed, and I was like, you are not gonna make me come over there. I think I was kind of a dick about it, just to be honest, right? I probably wasn't the nicest of spirits, if that rings true, right? Because I'm like, dude, there's no fucking way. I think there's no fucking way I'm coming over there. But I ended up talking him through it. I was like, dude, listen, I want you to do this, this, and this, and then I want you to text me and let me know that you're okay. And I was like, I promise you can walk. The next morning, that was 11:30. That motherfucker was still dope hungover 12 hours later, like he just hit the pin still, practically. I say practically because he could at least walk, but he was slow as molasses. You know what I mean? Like, it was all going through a very high marijuana filter. Wow. I was like, you have no. So now I was like, dude, if you smoke, you are to take tiny little hits with me of flower. You don't need to smoke concentrates. Like, dude, I didn't start smoking concentrates until I'd been smoking dope for so long. I guess technically hash was a concentrate, but hash is still not as concentrated as what they make when they make wax today, right? It's good, but it's not like, dude, the wax and shit that we're smoking is like 80, 85, 90, 95% fucking, it's like crack. That's why I tell people, like, dude, what they do to marijuana and make wax is no different than what you do to powder cocaine and make crack. You take all the fucking bullshit out of it, and you're left with just the THC, and that's really all you're smoking.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys do either of you guys like wax? I know you smoke the shit out of flower, but do either of you like concentrate?
Yeah,
A
I
lot
make
of
my own
growers
though.
don't.
I make
You
my
make
own.
your own? Do you have a press?
I have a press.
So let me ask something. Isn't it like basically roundabouts for a quarter you get a gram?
It just depends what flower. So if I do my homegrown GG4, if I put in about an eighth, I'll get out about a gram if that's
Really?
when it's juicy. 'Cause I grow that. I grow my GG4s. I grow specifically for that. 'Cause I keep them short, keep
Specifically
them
to
fat.
press. Got it.
Yeah, because I keep them short, fat, and then try to stack them up. So it's a short life cycle for those ones.
Just out of curiosity, Dirty, you're so into it. Do you actually test your marijuana and your concentrates? Do you know what you're like? Do you know how the percentage of THC that's in your plants and stuff like that? Just out of
I
curiosity.
used to in the beginning, but it's just
Is it time consuming?
no, it's not time consuming. Like there's home tests about it, and I don't trust those just because I bought 3 and I got 3 different samples.
Right, you got 3 different, right?
I sent out to 2 different companies, but their standards and the way they want to do things is just it's not even worth it to me anymore. It's where what I look for in my own grow is I look for the white ash because that tells me how I cure it. If I cure it pretty good, I look for a throat hit to see if I trimmed it right. I usually take off all my fan leaves and stuff like that, sugar leaves. I take that off so that way I don't get the throat hit, but I press those most of the time. So
well, I'll tell you
I get high off it all the time.
I'll tell you this on a side note, I would love one day to visit California and have a smoke sesh with you and actually smoke your weed. I bet I would do it. Your Kush sounds yummy. And what was the other one? That's the one you press, right? The Kush.
The dabs, the live rosin.
No, the GG. GG is what you
GG4.
Yeah. GG4 is what you press. Yeah, that sounds.
Gorilla Glue.
Yep. Gorilla Glue.
It's
right?
really
is that what you said? That's what you said, right? Okay, I'm high.
Yeah, because when I cure it, it's almost like solid rock. That's how.
Right. It's so dense. Right.
Yeah. So.
Have you guys ever heard of? I don't even know because I don't. It's funny because I now buy all these strains, but I actually have never seen anything like this. But it was around back in my day. We had some of it. But have you ever heard of early girl, early pearl, or early squirrel? Either one of those, any of those? So they were back in the, and you should be able to look them up, but this was back in 94, 90, 93, 94, 95, that range of years. But they would, there was 3 cannabis cups over in Amsterdam at the time, and that was the only place that really did it because we were still highly illegal, right? I was making shit tons of money off of the fact that we were illegal. And but we were very much into our product, right? I mean, a good dealer is still going to be into their product. And so there was 3 cannabis cups, and the only difference was the names. Just like the way here, lots of times, one strain is the same thing that someone's just named it different over the years, right? So they were all basically the same strain of weed, and it was a hybrid, but essentially it was. Now back then, with everything we did, it usually took 2 months from the time we put it into when we took it out of cloning, the cloning room, which was a 2-week period, and then it went into the main grow. Then that was 2 months of main grow, right? But with early pearl, it was 45 days, and they would fucking produce as much, if not more, and extremely dense. And that was hence the name early, because it was basically like 2 weeks, 45 days, and you had full maturity. Wow. And I tell you what, man, it's funny because I know for a fact that I did all this. It's not fucking Mandela, guys. I fucking had 2 grow homes. I can show you the report with the 595 plants that somehow disappeared. By the way, if you ever want to hear that story, I think I've told it before, but we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I should say there was 100 plants that disappeared, because on the report, you'll get this real quick. We know how many plants. What grower doesn't know how many plants down to the fucking dying plant they have, right? Yeah. We had 595 plants because the station is made to hold 600, and we had removed 5 through going hermaphrodite, right? So they were removed. So that's why we knew exactly how many we had. on the report, it was very clear that there was 495 plants confiscated because the fucking back row was mature. And these fucking cops knew it, so they kept the mature shit and only clocked us for the 495 that had not gotten to full growth.
Oh, they make you money.
Dude, that was 1995, 96. You know, these motherfuckers, they're not afraid. Dude, here's the thing. What are you going to do as a dealer? Oh, I'm sorry, Your Honor. We had 100 more plants, man.
Yeah.
I need you to go ahead and, up the like plants were everything when you're talking about going. And, it's just stupid, dude. Like when we saw that, my partner and I were both like, this is actually happening. There was no doubt that it looked like a 5, you know what I mean? Or looked like a 4 and was a 5. It was very clearly a 4. That's a whole 100 plants, which was literally 2 fucking rows of 50.
I think Joe's ready to take us on a hunt.
Uh-oh.
Joe.
We've got the
What's that?
Oh my God, he's hunting lizards.
I got to figure out how to turn the camera around. Can I turn my camera around?
You can. You should be able to still do it like you normally do your FaceTime. Is it letting you have a little turn button?
No, it doesn't have a turn button.
You might not be able to do it then. We're limited, Joe. We're limited. We're limited.
I
Sorry.
know. I can barely hear you guys too with my phone. My Bluetooth wouldn't work.
Hey, Joe, on the bottom of your screen where you see all 4 of us, there should be a mic, cam, setting, and chat. Press the cam and then change it to front or back. There should be a mic, cam, and setting on the bottom. Click the cam button and then change your camera to the other side. Oh, I think it's in settings. Yeah, it's settings. It's in settings. Sorry about that. It's in settings. Yeah.
Oh, you can change it in settings. No, I see what you're talking about. I'm on my computer, but I see what you're talking about.
Yeah, so Joe, change your settings to the
I think he's doing it. Let's see.
Nope, that one didn't work. Try the other one.
There we go. Oh, look at there, Joe. You're a technological wizard.
Nice.
Just put them on the main screen.
All right, guys.
Put them on the main screen.
Crikey.
All right,
we got,
dude. I got
my buddy Dave with me. He's driving.
Come on, Dave. There's A driver. Dave's A driver. Let's go.
I got to create a banner.
Well, Dave said he seen one over here earlier by this truck.
Oh, all right. We're out here gonna find us some lot lizards. All right.
Is that a used condom on the ground? No. It's a skeet mat. Look at that skeet rag.
Oh my God, dude.
They be fucking right on the lawn or what?
There it is. There it is. We're hunting lot lizards.
Oh my God.
Boys, we are hunting lot lizards.
Let's go to the back by the semis. That's where we'll find them.
This shit should go viral, man. Y'all should start sharing the shit out of this because I had a feeling that we're gonna find at least one fucking look. Even Princess is like, there you go.
Yeah.
Now we got to go.
We're on the hunt.
Blade, you still with us, man? Because we are on the fucking
Boys
hunt
and
for
girls.
some lizards.
The lot lizard hunt has begun.
I won't be able to hear you guys right now because I'm fucking driving.
You're fine, dude.
That's
we're just
okay.
gonna commentate your lizard hunting. Holy shit, this is hysterical, dude. Oh, come on, stay with us. Keep it going. There we go. There we go.
There we go.
Oh my God, dude. I honestly we got to put, you know what? Because I'm so high, but here we go. We got it coming live from JoeDirt. There's JoeDirt.
Life's a garden.
From UGC. JoeDirt from UGC.
Oh,
dig it.
That guy looked like he was getting head in the cab seat.
Hey, Joe, you didn't get me your artwork, but check out the top corner, bro. He probably didn't hear me.
All right, we're going to go behind these babies now and see what's back there.
That's hysterical, dude. I would honestly love to have this job.
I didn't know
Right?
this
Am I
was
the
a
only?
thing.
Am I the only one? Now
I
that's
didn't know
like
this
this
was a
would be
thing.
fucking hysterical to.
God.
And look, a lot lizard has to know she's a lot lizard, right?
Right.
We
right.
might not know that they're lot lizards, but lot lizards know who they are.
Oh
Right?
yes, they do. They come in being all sweet and stuff when they come in the shower. Like, get the fuck. Oop, is that one?
Oh, we might have one, guys.
Holy shit!
Whoop, whoop.
You're live on
Yeah,
Spirit 420
yeah, we
Candid Lot
quiet.
Lizard camera.
I got $1 to make you holler, honey.
Oh my
You gotta watch out too for like you know how the Mexicans and shit have been getting stuck in these trucks. You never know,
Oh.
dude. You could come back here and they could be out smuggling fucking humans and shit.
Holy
Oh,
shit!
shit.
Dude.
Sheesh.
Do you carry
I
any
had to
kind
watch-
of a? Go ahead.
I had to watch videos on it and stuff about human trafficking and shit like that.
Are you allowed to carry any kind of actual weapon with you, Joe?
I will not speak of anything.
There you go. I love it. You said enough, sir.
You know, you just carry the
Taser.
standard issue
Standard
nunchucks
issue taser.
and ninja stars,
Right.
bow staff, katana. You know,
My
all the
standard
good
issue
stuff,
brass
you
knuckles.
know?
I've been thinking about getting myself a little peppered hooker, you know, 4-shot, little short 22.
Did
Right.
you say?
Yeah.
Did you say that you're gonna get yourself a peppered hooker?
Yeah.
A pepper hooker 4-shot. Yeah, I don't know what they're fucking called.
I heard Pepper Hooker foreskin.
Right. I was just thinking of it.
What?
I'd rather have that than a salted hooker. Personally.
Right?
I got to tell you this though, dude. What was I gonna say? I just think it would be funny to see like I don't know where this came from, but maybe it's just because I'm high. But you know how we love Pez from back in our day when we were kids. The
Yeah.
little
Oh,
Pez
yeah,
can-
yeah.
Wouldn't it be
Yeah.
hysterical if you could get what looks like a Pez, but that motherfucker is a either mace or like straight up taser? Like it's Pez. Fucking just. I don't know why, dude. I just like I want to have a Pez mace dispenser. That's what I want. A
Yeah.
Pez mace dispenser.
I'm just glad I didn't catch any truckers out here with their pants down shitting in my trash can.
Right,
That happened? That's the thing.
I was not expecting.
dude. You know that it
I
has
didn't know that
happened
was
if
a
he said
safety
it.
thing.
You know it's happened if he said it. That's all I got to say.
Yep.
Right?
If
Oh
he's
my
saying it, then this shit has happened. Period. That's a fact.
Well, guys, I think all the lot lizards have already been picked up and put in the cabs tonight.
Uh,
We didn't seem
They
to
were
spot
faster.
any. They're usually hanging out the front of the trucks, but it's a little cold tonight. They must have got inside pretty quick.
yeah, they did. They beat you to the punch tonight. They were just like, it's too fucking cold. It's still hysterical.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to. I'm telling you right now, Joe. We're gonna have to do more live hunting because this
Absolutely.
is fucking hysterical.
Absolutely.
I got a little bit of trash to take care of. Well, I'm going to let you guys go. I'm going to take care of this. My battery just said 10% battery, so I'm probably going to die anyways.
All right,
you have a
Joe,
good one, man.
All right. If I get home in time, I'll drop back in on you fellas.
You got it, man. We'll be
All
All
here.
right, man.
Laters.
Peace.
Yep. Lot lizards.
That's insane.
That's great.
That's honestly crazy.
That
So
is
there we go,
great.
Dirty. Now I got you back. I hadn't had a chance. I'll get you up here in a minute, Gryz.
Yeah.
I'm gonna switch camera placement. So, you know what? I can do it like this if I do. Boom. Oh, there we go. And I'll put Gryz on for a minute.
Oh, there we go. Nice.
So, Gryz, I'm gonna go to the next question because we're
Okay.
high as fuck. I'm gonna go to your first question. I love this one. I thought this was literally the best one. Gryz, you're first, and then Dirty. Is growing cannabis hard or not?
So this is one of those loaded questions because
Right.
in my opinion, growing cannabis can be as hard as you want to make it.
That is a perfect answer, sir.
And I mean, listen, we've all known. I'm 46 years old. I know the cruddy weed we used to be able to get in high school,
Right.
everything like that. I had buddies that grew a small plant in a closet with an incandescent light bulb. I mean, it was shitty weed still, but it was homegrown, and that kind of thing. I mean, so there's a there's a documentary, I guess, on Prime that's amazing. If you get a chance to watch it, it's called 50 G's in Your Backyard, and it's all about how this guy makes 50 grand a year growing cannabis in his backyard in Detroit. And and he's an OG grower, and he goes and he shows some grow houses and some of the places these guys are growing and the way they're growing. Somebody who is really up on the scientific side of growing looks at that and goes, how can you grow there? How can you grow like that? There's no way you can get. They're doing it. You know what I mean? So that's why I say it can be as hard as you want it to be. But
on the flip side, that means you can make it as easy as you want it to be too, because let's face it, and this is one of the things I've always brought up to anybody, and then Dirty, I will let you have the floor, but growing anything is not, the concept is simple as hell. You fucking start a seed and you grow it and take care of it to maturity, period. Dirty, what's your answer?
I can't top that, man. Gryz is on point with it right there. Next question.
All right, next one. Here we go. Should I purchase seeds or clones? And I'm assuming that this is kind of directed as when you're first starting off. Is that right, Gryz? Like in the beginning?
Yeah. Yep.
Should I purchase seeds or clones? If it's your first season, go off of seeds and get photo periods. Don't go with autoflowers, just because autoflowers, if you don't know what you're doing and you got to diagnose the plants, you're on a limited time period, or you'll stun the plant, because that plant will flower whether you want it to or not. So if you stun it, it might not complete flower, but it's going to flower. So if you start with a photo period, you could, if something happens to your plant, you could diagnose it. You can still learn about it. You don't have to flip it in the flower yet. To know anything's fine, you can flip it in the flower. And then you can take stuff from there and clone it from there, from your own experience. But don't start off with clones.
Yeah, and I was going to say, if once you have learned how to do your own clones, then there's no problem in maybe getting somebody else's clone if you're trying to bring in a new strain of your own.
It's
to grow a different strain.
Clones are very, very easy to do, but so easy to fuck up.
Oh yeah.
It's like a hit or miss. You don't need all this stuff that you see all these YouTubers dipping in, like this one, because I'm cloning. So I use this Rapid Root or Rapid Start. I just dip it in there. But these other YouTubers, they got like 15 other things. And
no, dude. Let me just say this: back in the '90s, both grow houses were clone homes. That's how we did what we did, and we dipped it in one fucking thing. And this was. Just remember, I'm talking 95. We dipped it in Clonex. That's what it was back then. You dip it in Clonex, you cut it. That's it. And then we put it into a disc that was basically a biodegradable disc that went into.
Yeah.
And then it sat in that for 2 weeks, and then it went into a full water system after that.
Yeah,
that's what it was.
I'll be cutting these this grow right here, the big plants that you guys see back here.
Right.
That's a ECL HK. It's sponsored by Redwood Exotics. I'm going to be cutting this up into a mainlining technique, but the cuts I'm going to be taking for that, I'm going to be cloning. And on the Twitch stream on Dirty Medic, I have a camera focused on the cloning station too. So
are you going to do the cloning? Are you going to do the cloning live, like that whole thing, cutting and? I'm
gonna record it, but I'm gonna do YouTube tutorials for it. But I'm not gonna do it live.
Oh, okay, cool.
I'm gonna do it live on the stream as I actually.
That's what I'm saying that's what I meant. You're on the Twitch stream. You'll just stream it, but you're gonna come back then and cut it and make it all professional or make it all pretty, if you will.
Yeah.
For the if you ever need help or anything like that, just let me know, man. I'll always help you out.
Okay, cool.
As far as the
Well, that
editing,
would
I
be
don't
my
know if you've done a lot of no, that actually makes total sense as far as the recommendation. All right, so I'm going to go back over to you, Gryz. What does it matter where my seeds clones come from?
Absolutely. I mean, if you want to have success, absolutely.
Right.
Now, if you want to, get right down to, if we're talking seeds, if you want to get right down to, brands and all that kind of stuff, the thing I would say is do your research,
Right.
and stuff. I mean,
Don't just go willy nilly.
yeah, the cannabis industry is just
Huge.
like any other industry. You know what I mean? There's really, really incredible, grow houses and seed banks, that make some incredible products, and then there's ones
Really
that,
shitty
that
ones.
aren't, that are not, and
Exactly,
so
just like beer, man. We have
Yeah.
fucking good beer and we have shit beer.
Exactly. And that all goes into because here's the thing. You gotta understand, it doesn't matter what your grow technique is, it doesn't matter what you're gonna feed, it doesn't matter any of that stuff. None of it can overcome genetics. And so your plant can only be as good as the genetics that are there.
Right.
And so everything that you're gonna do is going to get it to do the best of its genetics. So the thing is yeah, it does matter. And so if in my experience, and Dirty, you can speak up here too, but in my experience, it very much is, and a lot of times you get what you pay for, unless you know someone. You know what I
Right.
mean? You get involved. I'll say one of the benefits of being involved with UGC is I've actually gotten or been given free seeds a few different times.
Oh yeah.
From people
that
that are growing and everything like that they want to grow out a line or whatever, and it's a fun thing to do. You get to grow some stuff that you would have never seen before, and get to report back to somebody how it went and everything. So it's a great experience, and it's a great way to get experience in growing, because you have 100% support that way.
No, I get it.
Yeah,
I like that.
So back Gryz up on that on the Discord channel. We do seed giveaways there, and
Right.
The website that I'm building is sponsoring UGC for those giveaways, where we're paying for the shipping. So we just put out the website just put out the money for the shipping. Talking to Sim today, everything should have been shipped out. So there's a seed giveaway
So
there.
you guys just did one? You just completed one?
Yeah, we completed a couple.
Oh, that's
it's
awesome.
on the Discord. And just a quick shout out to Joe Hamseed on the UGC Discord. He has his own channel there, where he's putting seeds out too.
Oh, that's fucking cool as shit. All right, we're gonna keep on keeping on here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got 5 questions left, so this one's gonna go back over to you, Dirty. What soil and/or nutrients should I use, and how often should I feed?
That is all personally up to you. You gotta read your plants. With me, I've only fed vegan. I use Mega Crop. I use Bud Explosion, and I use K12, and I never had a pH in my water with that. So
Right.
I use reverse osmosis water, and never had an issue. All my plants succeeded and everything else. Depending on the weather and your environment, it's been really hot here in SoCal. So I've been in flower. Sometimes I've been feeding water in the morning, and then I'll feed or water in the morning, then I'll feed nutrients in the afternoon, and then I'll feed water in the evening. During the veg stage, I'll probably feed when the plant is light. A lot of people like to do the knuckle test. I usually have like about every 3 days I would feed nutrients, but every day they would get a watering. And I usually water or feed till 10% runoff.
That's pretty cool.
Other than that, it's really up to you guys.
It's really,
I mean,
but it
up to
sounds
the
like
grower.
personal preference as a grower. It's your personal
You
preference.
have to read your plants. You gotta. If you're first time growing, I'm gonna tell you this: overwater your plant. Overwater the shit out of your plant. Just fucking dump water on that shit. Fucking fist fuck that plant fucking with water and shit, dude. Just down that shit, dude. And watch how it reacts. The fucking the leaves will get all limp all over, get a darker green, and then just let that shit starve out. You'll see after it evaporates out, after 2 or 3 days, the leaves will start going up. They'll be healthy and floating. That's what your plant looks like when your plant is either dehydrated or too much water.
Right.
It looks
either
like the same
too
thing.
much or right. They either too much or too little is going to look the same way. The plant
looks the same.
It's got it's bent over. Looks limp.
Yeah.
Man.
So you can you can still recover. Just feed her some water. You know, don't feed her nutrients. Feed her some water, and then feed her nutrients after she recovers.
Cool.
But they're very, very resilient. Like I'll be snapping fucking branches and electrical taping that shit.
Right.
It works.
No, I mean, I try to remind growers that have never grown or even talk about it. Like it is a weed. I mean, technically it's a weed that, there's places where it's found a way to grow and you're like, wow, I can't even believe that's growing. So,
yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, Gryz, over to you on this one. Is there a difference between watering and feeding? I think we just heard a little bit of that from Dirty. So why don't you expand on that?
Yeah, absolutely. There is. Watering is just what it sounds like. It's watering, you're just giving water to the plant, and feeding is something totally different. Feeding is giving nutrients to the plant, putting nutrients back into the soil, so that they can be digested by the plant and used. And,
right.
And that is something, again, you've got to watch your plant. You've got to learn to know your plants, and everything. And you can't assume, even if you're growing, 4, 5, 10, I don't care, plants of the same strain. You got to understand that within that strain, there's going to be phenotypes and they're going to react differently to what you're doing.
Right. Everything's different.
Yeah. So you can't assume that they're all going to do the same thing.
Every strain. Right. You've got to learn your strains. You got to learn your, Yeah.
And I know that sounds complicated. You know what I mean? As we're saying it, it starts, and I'm not trying to discourage anybody from growing because it really is not complicated. And I'll give you just for instance, I have 2 plants in my greenhouse. One that I put in there that's in a 10-gallon fabric pot, and the other one that's there. We bought the house we're in back in November from, we did a private sale between 2 people, and the guy who lived here, he grew here before I grew here. Well,
so it was already set up. That's nice.
Evidently in the greenhouse, he dropped 2 seeds last year when he grew, and somehow they overwintered and grew. One of them ended up being a male, and I had to cut that one down, but the other one, it was about 3 feet tall before I even knew it was there. I had done nothing with it in that whole time, and it got to be that size on its own. And that's now the main cola on this plant right now, because it's in bud now, looks like it's going to be over 6 inches long, the main cola. Wow. So, again, watering is different than feeding, but you got to watch your plant, and you got to learn to read what your plants need.
And it's really not. Go ahead, Dirty.
I don't know. It's like Sinful is really good. Like he's really good at noticing these type of things. Like when you go to discord.gg/urban growers, he has pictures and channels of everyone's experiences. So flower, seed, vegetation, training, and that type of stuff. It's a collective of all the members, 1,300 members, 1,500 members that we have. Their experiences of what they went through, with commenting on how to recover or diagnose your plant. So like the Discord is always popping, left and right. There's always something going on in the channels there that you have to sub or check in for your role. So Simple is really good at that with the mods.
The bottom line is, if you have a question, you can go there and get an answer fairly quickly, rather than feel like
if it hasn't been answered yet,
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like if you go there and ask it, most likely it's already somewhere. Like it's already there. The answer's already there. It's just a matter of timing.
Yeah, and we've got channels for the most common issues out there. If you've got pests, we've got a pest channel. there, where you can go and ask the question about, if you think you're seeing spider mites or what have you. We've got a channel for people growing in soil. We got a channel for, all these different
All the
variables,
right.
So
with
that
all
you can
examples already in there,
Yep.
like people's personal grows already in there. So
Yep.
if your question hasn't been answered, it's probably been pinned. So
Absolutely.
Well, I got it pinned on you, Dirty. What equipment
Oh.
should I buy?
As your first time grower, I wouldn't invest a lot. I would just be focusing on making that plant grow, and then
So just
flowering
light,
it. So
maybe just at least a light.
I would grow. I start off with a small tent, like a 3 foot by 2 foot little Amazon Vivo Sun tent with a LED blurple light and a makeshift exhaust carbon filter fan. It ran like about $200 for the setup on Amazon or something. I bought that right after I retired, and then blew up until like this tent here with the sponsored light from Danco Company. So, and I'm on my 8th or 7th season now. And my seasons are about 6-7 months, and I grow 6-footers in there with different variables, so different tents and so forth. So your
That's
first
awesome,
equipment, just finish your grow, see how you like it.
Right.
You do your first grow by recommendation. The longer you stretch out your veg phase, the longer the taller it's going to be, the more flower you're going to have. You just got to know you got to transplant. The bigger you get, the more you got to put soil and nutrients and everything. But your very first grow, just grow out something small. Do like a 3-week veg, and then pop her into flower. She's going to be a little midget, but just do tie downs on her and see how you like it. And do the curing stage, because there are a lot of people just dick off on the curing stage if that's the way to do it. And you're not going to get the full taste of growing from seed to harvest. But that would be my recommendation. Any makeshift stuff, and if you feel like you need some or you like it, I upgraded individual things until I got to where I was at right now.
Right. It wasn't, you didn't go from one setup to just buying a whole new setup. You kind of gradually added this here, added that here.
Now I got a totally hidden room that's like behind like tool chest and everything else. So.
And let me add to what Medic said in that don't get caught up in the name game when, especially your first couple grows. You got to look at. I remember years ago I used to golf, and I remember I had an older gentleman who was kind of a mentor to me, and we were golfing one day, and I told him that I was thinking about getting new clubs, and he said, he goes, do you think that new clubs are going to fix what you feel is wrong with your game? And I said, yeah. And he goes, so then you feel that you're ready for the PGA? And I looked at him and I said, what do you mean? And he said, he said, good clubs are for making those people that are in the top 10% better. That 10% better. Right. That kind of thing. And really, the truth of the matter is when you're in your first few grows, you're not even going to realize the benefits of some of the more pricey things out there and the advanced technologies and stuff like that. And, if you invest a ton of money into this in the beginning and you fail,
that's going to be very, very,
that's how you're going to take it, is that you failed. You're not going to look at it as a learning experience. You're going to look at it as I invested a ton of money and I got nothing
out of it the first time, right? Yeah.
Every season you do gets better. Every season you do gets better.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So your first season is always going to suck. I don't know one grower that said that first season was the best season.
Well, dude, I mean, just so you know, I take that approach to anything I do. The first is the worst, period. Because every time I do something, a second, a third, a fifth, you become better and better at what you're doing. So,
and do yourself a favor, set yourself a budget and stick to it, because it is so easy. Because it's fun. So it is fun to buy stuff for your grow.
There's a good question. Do I need to add any heat or AC?
Depending on your climate, absolutely. Depending on where it is that you're growing. I mean, if you've got a place where you've got temperatures in the 70s, and or at least mid 60s or higher and 50% humidity, most of the time, well, that's ideal, but for
Right.
most of us, we have to recreate that in a grow tent or in a grow room.
Yeah.
And so that does include sometimes having to add heat or having to add air conditioning, depending on what your setup is.
So it's an absolute if you need it. It's not, if you could, like you said, if you can maintain that temperature, which I would imagine almost everybody, kind of like I said earlier, there's times of the year you can probably do that, and then there's times of the year you're either going to need heat or either going to need AC.
Right.
Last questions for you here, Dirty. So, soil versus hydro, is one better than the other?
Well, you're gonna have to define hydro, because hydro is different aspects of it. Soil, I grow soil a lot. I tried a semi-hydro, which is coco coir. I did not like it, just because I found to get more gnats out of the coco coir. But other than that, the productivity or anything, I didn't see anything different from when I was using soil. As far as the deep water culture or that type of grow, I've never experienced it. I want to get into it. I've been looking around for complete buckets. Sinful is experienced in that, and a couple of our other urban growers. There's a couple channels in there for that also. The buckets I was going to get to start the DWCs were pretty much based off of the recommendations I saw in UGC. As far as speaking on growing on it, I don't know.
I got you. Cool. Want to come back over to Gryz? Do you want to add anything to that real quick on that last question?
I think this goes back to something we were kind of hinting around earlier. Is in my mind, it kind of depends on what your end goal is.
Right, what you're trying to accomplish.
Yeah, what do you see is what's the outcome you want to have? For me, I can't say whether one's better than the other because I've never grown hydro. I've grown only in soil. I'm one of those people that, at this point in my grow experience, I buy like Fox Farms nutrients, and kind of do an amended version of their schedule. Just for me, I've found that, if you go by their schedule, you tend to overfeed a little bit. And so I back off on what they do, but I still, use their stuff as a guide. I'm not, there's like Sin, this guy is like the mad scientist, and medical back me up on that. This guy's in there. When he's feeding, man, he's mixing this and a little of that, and
I think he fucking sleeps and think about fucking compound nutrients to fucking mess elements and fucking banana nut.
I'm sure he does, man. I'm sure he's taking it to a whole other level.
Thinks about this shit and just rambles on and just I'm gonna try this.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
he's a wealth of knowledge, though, man. Like when he talks, you just sit there and be like, yeah, man.
Yep.
Just listen to him.
It's funny because the last question there, and of course I'm just going to give credit where credit is due. Gryz wrote all these questions for us today. All except for the first two; those were done.
That's why you're so prepared. I'm just
exactly. That's the only reason I'm prepared. I did not. All I did was put text. I literally copied and pasted the shit that you wrote over to me. So I changed maybe a couple words here and there. But I will say this. I just want to touch on this. Like when I was doing the grow homes back when I was dealing. My partner and I now, he grew up growing only soil. And, the whole reality is we actually tried the first go around, we did all soil. And what I mean by that is we had a bunch of buckets, about this big. And that's what they were growing into as far as their maturity, the final phase. But then he ended up reading this article. And that's the only reason I want to bring up, because I think you guys will find this funny. And you brought up the magazine already. But he read an article, and this was like, again, 93, 94, somewhere there, in High Times, called Sea of Green. And we recreated the Sea of Green, which is a pure hydro system with water just constantly running. And I mean, the beautiful part about it, and this is the only thing I'll say that I felt is anything over it, is I can't see possibly growing as many plants as we grew, because they were 4-inch containers right up beside one another, and you can't do that in soil. I don't see that you can't grow the plant as close. So if
No.
you're trying to grow as much as you possibly can in the smallest of rooms,
Yeah.
to me, the only way, and that's why we ended up going to that, because we tried the soil, and we also had more issues because it was harder with, and I'm sure you'll understand this, but we couldn't live there at the house, right? It was
Yeah.
based on visits, right? And we had to maintain the visits, not looking like we lived there, but not looking like we were visiting all the time to check plants, because these homes we had were right in the neighborhoods. Well, but the whole bottom line is, the plants we would let them; they would end up dying on the soil, and it was a lot easier to maintain them in the hydro system.
And you have to understand too, in a lot of regards today, it's a lot easier. In situations like what you're talking about,
we had to make timers back then, dude.
That's what I was going to say.
You have all these beautiful things now,
hooked up to
right?
the internet. You got them.
Yeah, you have an app. You could be like, "How are my fucking plants doing?" Like, it's fucking sick, dude. Now.
So you can monitor all that from anywhere. That kind of
Which
thing.
is, don't get me wrong. I'm all for it. I think it's badass because I know that. Hey, one more. There we go. Yeah. And we're gonna end it after this smoke sesh here. Which is perfect timing. But I will say this: I'm truly looking forward to the day that I start growing. Not only because of the community that I'm in, but I know I literally can come. Not just to you guys, but I've met a ton of people, and most true stoners, and I'll emphasize that, true stoners. I don't give a fuck about whether you're a vet or a drug dealer. I don't give a fuck what you are. But if you're a true stoner, then you always want to support someone else and help them. And I've seen that for the most part. People, they want you to succeed because they know if you do. This is how I look at it. Whenever I help anybody myself and they succeed, I helped them. I had a little bit of part. I had a little part of their success. So with that, if there's anything that you two gents would like to say here before I sign us off.
Thanks for having us on again, man, for your season 2 premiere. Hope
Thank you so much.
Some life into it. Urban
you did.
Growers.
And you're going to be here again and again and again. Because neither one of us are going anywhere. I can tell you that. That is a fact. And in fact, I before go ahead. Sorry.
Discord.gg/urban growers.
Right there at the bottom.
On Twitter. My Twitter handle is Twitter_. No, dirty.
I'll add it to the description, but let me tell everybody right now what it is because I've got you right here. Hold on, let me just pull Twitter up again.
I forgot.
I think it's just at Dirty Medic.
I forget, dude. I know my Facebook is Instagram, and Facebook is mr.dirtymedic, Mr.dirtymedic.
I got it.
I don't know my Twitter is.
We're on no. Oh, I've got us. I'm not Doherty. It's not Doherty. Dirty. There it is, Dirty Medic. All right, so it's Dirty_Medic. Let me just make sure 100%. DIRTY _Medic MEDIC.
There you go.
Yep, that is your Twitter handle.
Next week I'll be posting step by step on how I did this bonsai for the training on the roots. So I'll be posting on there on Twitter and the Discord too.
That'll be badass, dude. Tag me from now on. Please tag me, dude.
Okay.
I will always retweet anything you tag me in and share. I give you my word. Oh, dude, it's not to. I won't plug myself much. That's going to be tomorrow night. Tomorrow night is season premiere part 2. You guys were part 1. Part 2 will be me kind of introducing the new season, obviously. But one of the things that I really preach, and I can't stand it, is if you're going to say something, fucking do it. I mean, you guys know. Hell, we had a 2-hour discussion about it, Gryz. Actions speak louder than words.
Absolutely.
I can't stand anything other than that, and I practice what I preach. Ask me for fucking support. I'm going to give it every single time. I will not always remember to do it on my own. Let me be very clear. I'm now up to like 36, getting close to 3,600 followers, and things are only going to continue to grow. So I can't keep up with people individually. But if you reach out and say, hey, dude, just raise your fucking hand more or less and be like, hey, man, tag me or check out what I did. I will always, and I never forget. I mean, dude, Dirty was one of my first 500 people that followed me, man. I don't know if you remember that, Dirty, but you were one of the very first, dude. I hadn't even hit 1,000 yet, and this motherfucker was like, what's up, dude? That was when you actually got on Twitter. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I know Discord is your home, dude. I know. I found that out early on. So, but we will have you back on. I promise, guys. It's always
Absolutely.
a pleasure having y'all. I just to say this, Dirty. If you want, I know Mike is trying to do another thing with me. So if you want me to keep you apprised of that on the vet help stuff, then I will absolutely tag you on that too, because he wants to do another show. So figured you might want to be a part of that.
Yeah, I'll do it.
I figured you would. I figured you would, brother. By the way, something cool that I'm doing, I just want to share with you two guys. Probably going to record it this weekend. My father is here, right? Senior Spirit.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you got to meet him, but I'm going to do an interview. I'm going to do an interview with him. I'm not going to choke up right now, but yeah, I'm going to do like a sit down conversation with him about him and his father, you know, who we called Cat, because I think it'll be really awesome. I will tell you this: I'm doing pre-recorded with my father because he's probably going to slip and call me by my fucking name. So I already told him, I was like, "We'll do pre-recorded, bro," and that way we don't mess up, because I'll probably end up messing up too, sitting there talking to my father, you know. But I can't wait for y'all to see that one. So that's coming out this season as well. I will. That's the only real promo that I'll give for the upcoming season. But that to me is going to be really cool, because it'll be the first time I've done anything like that with my old man. So
he's paved the way, man. Like, lieutenant right there, man. Don't be jumping on LT. LT's going to put a lot of work in, man.
Absolutely.
That sits right up top my I stare at that all day. And you see what he's wearing there, don't you, Dirty? That's straight
diver.
up old school. Dude, that's the fucking diver. That's the damn. He's got the dive suit on. The only thing he doesn't have on there is the fucking helmet.
Yep. Yeah. That big brass
helmet. Look at that sexy son of a bitch. Look at him.
60s, 70s, man. He's paved the way, man. He's lived a life.
It's amazing. I was literally talking to a guy today who's 73. He's a year younger than my father, but he's an attorney. And it was just funny because, like, you know, you really understand that he was a fucking guinea pig. I mean, basically, they knew very little about the technology. You know, I think cartoons knew more about that technology than the guys actually doing it.
Yeah.
So, well, listen, man. I love you guys. Thank you so much for being here. We will do it again. Hopefully, we'll do it again this season. If we can pull it together and do it, I would love to do it again this season. Tony got to reach out to Joe, because I want to go on another. Dude, lot lizard hunting. I mean, I think that needs to become like a monthly thing. We ought to take Joe with us. Make sure that motherfucker has a fully charged phone.
That's right.
That's what happens. You go to work.
And I'm gonna get him a Bluetooth, man. I'm gonna send him a fucking Bluetooth so he can fucking hear us as well. So, listen, had a great time. Hold on, we got a few comments before we go. Oh, great show, guys. Great info. That's Prince Buttercup giving you guys a shout out on all the stuff you brought to the table. And I really do appreciate it. I'm gonna take each of y'all out real quick, but don't leave, please don't, because I'm gonna want to say something to you guys before you leave. So
absolutely,
I'm gonna leave you backstage for just a second. I'll be right there.
Okay.
So just real quick, I just want to say this. My new sign off now, and you'll read it here on the intro. Excuse me, the outro. To blaze or not to blaze, there is no question. The only question is to get high, or excuse me, how did I put it? The question is simply put, the only question is to get high, or how to get by, something like that. Anyway, I'm so high I can't even remember what the fuck I wrote, but you'll see it here in a minute. And I'm sure the guys backstage are fucking laughing their ass off because I can't even remember what I fucking wrote. But it is season premiere, and I am ripped. I finished off the bong. I finished off the blue bowl. I finished off no name, and I did 3 fucking dabs. And these guys have got me so high that I can't even remember the say. And I said it so many times I had to remember. Doesn't matter. Anyway, tomorrow night, another episode, 7:20 starts live again, and I will see everybody then. Hopefully, I'll have a little bit more water in my throat. But with that, have a great evening. Thank you so much.
You can't have my phone number unless we running up the digits. Let me meditate, I just need a couple minutes. Tryna low ball me, my cojones to the big ass. Bitch, I get high. I ain't looking at the clock still.